So last time we did a simplification where we set up a click event for each of the mole divs. And take a look at this here. This is pretty ugly too. And this could use some simplification. Can it? Well, jQuery can help here too. You can actually no, you can't, sorry, because it's a little bit different. So you know how to simplify this already. Right? We don't want to get by ID, but we want to get it by class because each of the mole boxes have the same class. So we can say $, open, quotes, and we'll say dot. This means look for a class named mole. And then, well, let's see, dot style. Does it have something like this? It actually does. But I know that it has something even quicker. It said you can say dot CSS. Let's hope I get that right. CSS, and you can set any of the CSS properties very quickly. So we want to say visibility, set it to visible. Let me just make sure this works before we continue. Okay, it works. Actually, no, we need to remove this. Hold on a second. Okay, good, it did work. So as you can see, we were able to rewrite all of these lines using this jQuery shorthand. So we found all of the divs with the class mole, and we said for all of those divs, change a CSS property. And CSS properties are basically these, right? So we have this visibility property, and there's different values that we can put here. So we're saying find the CSS property called visibility and set it to a value visible. And just like that, we can get rid of all of these lines. So go ahead, do that, and come back when you are ready. Delete these lines to make sure when you're testing that you are testing you're not showing the boxes using the old way of doing this. Come back when you're ready. So I will actually remove these, and look how much cleaner and smaller our code is. It's much easier to read than having all these repeats. I'm going to move things around so I don't have a lot of empty spaces. What's next? Well, we got the clicks going, but the mole only shows up in the top 3. Okay, so let's find the code which shows the mole. And well, there it is. And here we're doing it. We're randomly getting a number between 0 or 2, between 0 and 2. And then depending on what we get, we either set the mole in the first, second, or third box. And it's done manually. So we can definitely continue. We can copy this and say if box is equal to 2, then mole 2, okay? This will be if box is equal to 3, then do mole, sorry, this would be mole 3, getting confused already, see mole 4. We can certainly continue doing this. And of course, since we have now 9 boxes, and this only gives us 3, we have to say 8. That means we'll get numbers 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can do it like this, and I can continue doing this if boxes, and I can do it for all 9. But I bet you're wondering, is there a simpler way? And the answer is yes, there is. Let's again think of jQuery, and let's think about these sets. So remember how we were looking at this and we're saying that if we get element by ID, we will only get one element. And if we do get by class name, then we'll get this collection or a group or an array of elements. Well, jQuery also works with these kind of lists or groups of elements. Let me show you what I mean. What if I said jQuery, okay, and I said .mol. Oops. I said, give me all the mol boxes. What will that give us? Why don't we debug this? Let's save this, come back here, make it full screen, F12 for developer tools. Now let's refresh this. I'm going to take away some of these breakpoints so they don't bother us. Okay, and let's put a breakpoint here. So here we're getting this this array of, or a list of divs. So let's refresh, show mol, remove that breakpoint. Okay, here we go. So let's see. What will happen when we call this function? Let's put it here in the console, put enter. What are we getting here? Well, look at that. Doesn't that look familiar when we're doing the get element by class name? Look at this. We're getting all of these elements. You can see they're being highlighted on the left as I move through. See, this element, this, and all of the elements are here. So, and those elements are numbered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Look at the numbers that we're getting from random 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, isn't that convenient? We're creating a random number which basically corresponds exactly to these numbers. So why don't we, given the random number, just pick one of the divs that corresponds to that number? Now, how would we do that? Well, again, if you have a collection, I call it collection, list, array, doesn't matter, you can use this these square brackets. And inside the square brackets, you can put the number of the element you want. So if I put element 0, look at that. I will get the first div. It even highlights on the left, right? If I do 1, I will get the second element. And all the way to 8, I will get the very last one. Now what happens if I try to do 9? I will get undefined. Why? Because there is no element with that's numbered 9. There's only between 0 and 8. There is no 9. So think about this. What if we took, instead of putting the 9 or the 8 or the 1, we actually put the box number inside? Then we could select just the div that was randomly selected. Let me do that and you see how it looks. Look, this will give us the list of divs. And why don't we select the div that is the box number? Like this. This thing will be exactly the same as this. These are exactly the same. The only difference is here I had to repeat the line all this time because I had to put a different text. Well, I don't have to do that anymore because it's taken care of by this list. And in fact, I can say dot inner text equals mol. And I should be able to, well, get rid of all of this. So you can see I made it all comments. So this no longer runs because it's just comments, but I'm keeping it here so we can still see it. So let's save. Let's go back here and let's refresh. And it worked. Oh, look at that. We got them all appearing in. Oh, but it's not being removed. Aha, because the removal code we have to update. Okay. So, but it's populating it. Why don't we see how that works? So again, F12. And you know what? I'm going to make some cleanup here. I want to remove this code here so it doesn't bother us. Come back here, refresh. And I am going to put a breakpoint here. Actually, no, I'm going to put a breakpoint next line right here. So let's refresh, start a game. And okay, show mole, start it. Guess what? What is the box number? Box number is 5. Okay, so therefore we're going to get the 5th element, or actually the 6th element. Let's see. Let's copy that and put it in the console. Paste. And what box we're getting? This one right here. This is the div. So after this line completes, this box here should say mole. Let's try it. And voila, we got it to say mole. So that's that. Let's see how this code looks like again. So that's the code. So let me now do it like this. Let's take it back to the way it used to be so that you have the same code we're seeing here. So what I would like you to do is add this code and remove all of that. And again, I'll take a screenshot. So we need to remove all of this. Whoops, no, all of this. So delete that and add this line. And come back, make sure to test and come back when you're finished. Okay. So as you can see, our code is getting shorter and shorter, and I like that. So let me save. But the mole are not disappearing, and we know why, because we still have the old code that hides the mole. So let's find the mole to hide code. Okay, so the mole to hide. So I meant the code that hides the mole. So here is the function hide mole, and we have a similar if statement that we just had before in the show mole code. If box is 0, then get the element by ID and set its inner text to be empty. So you know what? I'm not going to give you a solution yet. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can completely rewrite this code using something like this in jQuery. And do that now and come back. If you can't get it working, don't worry, I will show you the code just after this. So pause and come back when you're ready. Okay, so the solution is, really, it's almost exactly the same code. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. And the only thing I have to change is, well, removing the mole is setting the inner text to nothing, empty. As you can see, it's basically this is the same as this. The only difference is how we are actually getting the element. We're using this way now, and we used to be doing this. So I can remove the entire code. I'm going to put this nicely back here. Press a tab to nicely format it. I'm going to delete this empty space. Save. Refresh. Start. And I dare say we might just have a game. Ah, I missed it. Ah. Okay. Let's just maybe do a couple of finishing touches. So let's see. For example, this thing, I mean, it's so small, it's not visible, it's really not so cool. So why don't we make it a little bit more visible? And the way we can do that is we can open developer tools using F12, or I can just right click here and inspect this will take me directly to this part of HTML. Oops, I need to take away this breakpoint. Let me do that again. So right-click, inspect, okay, and it takes me to this display. And I can actually play with the styles here. See how it says element style and it's empty? Well, I can add things to it. For example, I can change the color and say red, and it changes it in real time. So you can actually make a bunch of changes and see what you like. I don't think I like the red color, so I'm going to remove it. But I think I maybe like it a little bit bigger. So let me say font size, and I'm going to say larger. No, I want it even larger. I want to put, oh, look, if I'm changing it, it's showing me already, actually. Well, that's too large. I think that's pretty cool. Extra large. Okay. So if I'm happy with it, what I can do is I can simply drag and copy this. Right click. Well, actually, I just press Control C because I don't know, there's so many options. Control C to copy. Okay, and then I can go back to Visual Studio. I can go back to CSS, and where is this? Let's go back to the HTML. Where do we display? We displayed the hits here. Well, that's a bad name, timer. We probably want to fix that, but anyway, let's go to the CSS and find timer. Where is timer? Ah, there's timer. So I'm gonna put here space, Control V, save, and let's refresh. So close, refresh, start. Ooh, I like that. That's much better. So that's good. But a couple things is, having these. Actually, first of all, before you do that, please find your CSS and add something like this. And I would encourage you not to play too much with CSS yet. You later on have the opportunity. Just try to do what I did. Just make it font extra large. Come back when you're done. Okay, so this timer, badly worded. Why is it called timer? Well, we took the clicks per second, HTML, and we appropriated it for our purposes for this game. And this timer was kind of left behind and we didn't think much of it. But this is going to cause us problems because there is no timer. Really, what this is score. And we want to do that. But the moment we do this, if I save, I refresh, everything will break. Okay? Well, maybe not everything, but certainly it's not showing the score here. And the reason why is because, well, we would probably find this element by ID. So I need to find every place where we referenced this element by ID. So let me start with the CSS, the JS file. What I can do is I can press Control F, that is to find. And I can type in timer. And it will show me everywhere where there's timer. And I can use this arrow to say next, next. And this will allow me to find, aha, all the places where I used, when I used timer. So I know this is getting the element by ID. It's now called score. Okay, next. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's a lot of timers. Oh, good for me. It was just the one location here. But we also used the name in CSS file. It was timer. So we need to change the score. Okay. And I need to change the saved text, the JavaScript file. Let me get rid of the search. And now I'm going to refresh and I'm going to test. And good. It's great. Let's see how good I am. All right. I think we are done. What I would like you to do now is actually post this on the website, on W3 Schools. And I'll show you how to do that in the next video. So please see me there.